What if I told you that ancient Rome, the cradle of civilization, held some of the darkest secrets in history? Welcome to our journey through the enigmatic and illustrious past of ancient Rome, where power and glory came with a sinister underbelly. In this video, we're going to unravel 15 dark secrets that the Roman Empire tried to bury deep. From bizarre rituals to political intrigue, you won't believe what truly went on behind the grand facades of this legendary empire. Stay with us until the end, because each secret we unfold is more shocking than the last. Let's dive into the shadowy depths of ancient Rome's hidden truths. Ancient Rome, founded in 753 B.C., rose from a small settlement along the Tiber River to become one of the most powerful empires the world has ever seen. At its height, Rome's influence spanned across Europe, Africa, and Asia, touching countless cultures and reshaping history in its wake. The grandeur of Rome is evident in its monumental architecture like the Colosseum and the Pantheon, its sophisticated engineering feats including aqueducts and roads, and its profound contributions to law, politics, and warfare. Roman civilization was a melting pot of art, philosophy, and religion, heavily influenced by the Greeks but with a distinct flair of its own. The city of Rome itself was an emblem of opulence, with bustling forums, lavish villas, and grand public baths that showcased the wealth and ingenuity of its people. But behind this splendor lay a society driven by ambition and power, where political machinations, gladiatorial combat, and shadowy rituals were just as integral to its identity. As we delve deeper into ancient Rome's secrets, remember that this empire's legacy is not just one of brilliance and innovation, but also one of darkness and intrigue. The first secret involves the mysterious disappearance of the 9th Legion. The 9th Legion, also known as Legio Romana IX Hispana, was one of the most renowned legions of the Roman Empire, noted for its bravery and martial prowess. However, around the early 2nd century AD, this legion seemingly vanished without a trace, and its fate remains one of the most enduring mysteries of ancient Rome. Some historians suggest that it was decimated in a brutal battle against the fierce tribes of what is now modern-day England during the Roman conquest of Britain. This theory is supported by the sudden appearance of multiple grave sites and the remnants of a battlefield in the area, yet there is no concrete evidence to confirm this. Another theory posits that the 9th Legion was reassigned to the eastern frontiers of the Roman Empire, where it possibly succumbed to the relentless attacks of the Parthian Empire or was destroyed in a mutiny. Adding to the intrigue, certain contemporary accounts hint that the legion could have been wiped out by a rebellious Roman governor, desperate to hide his own failures. The complete lack of records post this period only deepens the mystery. The 9th Legion's disappearance has spawned countless tales and speculations, becoming a rich source of inspiration for historical fiction and folklore. Whether betrayed by their own, lost in battle, or victims of treacherous plots, the fate of the 9th Legion remains a tantalizing enigma that continues to fascinate scholars and enthusiasts alike. And this is just the beginning of our journey into the dark shadows of ancient Rome. Stay with us as we uncover more hidden truths that the sands of time have tried to obscure. The second secret involves the curse of the Vestal Virgins. The Vestal Virgins were priestesses of Vesta, the goddess of the hearth, and were entrusted with maintaining the sacred fire of Rome, a symbol of the city's eternal life. Chosen between the ages of 6 and 10, these young girls committed to 30 years of strict service, including a vow of chastity. The Vestals were revered and enjoyed many privileges, such as riding in carriages and having seats of honor at events. However, the consequences of breaking their vow of chastity were severe and gruesome. If a Vestal Virgin was found guilty of engaging in sexual relations, she was subjected to a horrifying punishment. The condemned priestess would be buried alive. A small room underground, known as the Campus Celeratus or the Field of Wickedness, was prepared for her execution. This room contained a bed, some food, water, and a lamp, meant to prolong her suffering. The decision not to spill her blood was based on the belief that she held divine power. Thus, her demise had to appear as an act of the gods rather than an execution by human hands. This punishment was intended both as a deterrent and to appease the gods, who were believed to be angered by the impurity within their sacred order. The man involved with the Vestal was often publicly flogged to death. These dark practices underscore the immense pressure and fear that surrounded the Vestal Virgins, illustrating a hidden, brutal side of Roman society that starkly contrasts with its celebrated grandeur. As we move forward, even more unsettling truths about ancient Rome await. Stay with us to continue uncovering the eerie depths of this ancient civilization. The third secret involves the unknown cause of Caesar's epilepsy. Julius Caesar, one of Rome's most iconic figures, was known not only for his military genius and political acumen, but also for a mysterious ailment that plagued him throughout his life. Historical accounts suggest that Caesar suffered from epilepsy, a condition that was often viewed with a mixture of fear and reverence in ancient times. However, the exact nature and cause of his illness remain shrouded in mystery. Ancient sources such as Plutarch and Suetonius describe episodes where Caesar experienced sudden fits, loss of consciousness, and convulsions, typical symptoms of epilepsy. Despite these debilitating episodes, Caesar managed to lead armies to victory and navigate the treacherous waters of Roman politics. Modern historians and medical experts have debated the origins of Caesar's condition, exploring various theories. Some suggest that he may have had a form of temporal lobe epilepsy, which can cause hallucinations and intense emotional experiences, possibly explaining some of his erratic behavior. Others propose that his symptoms could have been the result of a series of mini-strokes or transient ischemic attacks, given his high-stress lifestyle and the physical toll of his many military campaigns. Adding another layer to the mystery, some scholars believe that Caesar's epilepsy might have been a factor in his ruthless ambition and desire for power, seeing it as both a weakness to conceal and a divine sign that set him apart from others. In Roman society, epilepsy was sometimes viewed as an indication of divine favor, with the afflicted person believed to possess special insights or connections to the gods. This perception might have helped Caesar leverage his condition as part of his charismatic leadership. The true nature of Caesar's illness remains one of history's unsolved puzzles, blending the lines between ancient belief and modern science. As we continue to delve into the secrets of ancient Rome, the enigmatic life of Julius Caesar reminds us of the complex interplay between human frailty and the pursuit of power. Stay with us as we unravel more hidden truths from this fascinating era. The fourth secret involves the sinister side of gladiatorial games. While the grandeur of the Colosseum and the spectacle of gladiators battling to the death have long fascinated audiences, the reality behind these games was far darker and more brutal than many realized. Gladiatorial games were more than just entertainment. They were a tool of political control and a reflection of societal values that celebrated violence and death. Gladiators were often slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, forced into the arena to fight for their lives. The conditions they endured were harsh, with many facing brutal training regimens and living in squalid conditions. While some gladiators achieved fame and fortune, the majority lived short, violent lives, regarded as expendable commodities by their owners. The games themselves were a form of human sacrifice, designed to appease the Roman populace and distract them from political and social issues. Politicians and emperors used these spectacles to gain favor and manipulate public opinion. For instance, Emperor Commodus infamously participated in the games himself, showcasing his strength and dominance while reinforcing his authority. The political machinations behind the scenes were equally ruthless. Powerful figures would sponsor games, using them as a platform to curry favor with the masses and assert their influence. The selection of gladiators, the staging of fights, and even the outcomes could be manipulated to serve political agendas. In some cases, rivalries between politicians played out in the arena, with gladiators serving as pawns in a deadly game of power and prestige. Moreover, the games often involved staged hunts and executions, where criminals and prisoners were pitted against wild beasts or subjected to elaborate and gruesome punishments. These spectacles not only entertained but also served as public demonstrations of the state's power and the consequences of defying Roman law. This dark side of gladiatorial games reveals a society deeply entrenched in violence, where human life was cheap and the pursuit of power often came at the cost of unimaginable suffering. As we continue to uncover the hidden truths of ancient Rome, we see how the allure of the Colosseum masked a brutal reality, echoing the empire's capacity for both grandeur and cruelty. Stay with us as we explore more unsettling secrets that lie beneath the surface of Rome's illustrious history. The fifth secret involves the ghost stories of the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum, once the bustling heart of ancient Rome, was a place where politics, commerce, and social activities intertwined. Today, it stands as a hauntingly beautiful ruin, echoing the grandeur of its past. But behind its majestic columns and ancient stones lie spine-tingling tales of ghostly apparitions and eerie occurrences that have been whispered through the ages. One of the most famous ghost stories involves the spirit of Julius Caesar himself. Legend has it that on the Ides of March, the anniversary of his assassination, a spectre in a bloodied toga roams the Forum, retracing his final steps towards the theater of Pompey where he met his tragic end. Witnesses have claimed to see this ethereal figure, eerily silent and glowing faintly under the moonlight, a chilling reminder of betrayal and murder. Another spectral tale speaks of the restless spirit of Emperor Caligula, known for his cruelty and madness. It is said that his ghost lingers around the remains of his palace, with some visitors reporting the sound of disembodied laughter or footsteps echoing through the ruins. The sighting of a shadowy figure, often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature, adds to the eerie atmosphere surrounding his former residence. The Vestal Virgins, too, are rumored to haunt the Forum. These priestesses, bound by their sacred vows, are believed to wander the ancient site, seeking some form of redemption or peace. Some visitors have reported seeing spectral figures in white robes, their expressions solemn, as they pass silently through the remnants of the House of the Vestals. The Basilica Julia, once a hub for legal proceedings, is also steeped in ghostly lore. Stories tell of ghostly advocates and accused eternally caught in their judicial struggles. Phantom voices are said to rise and fall in heated arguments, with ghostly figures appearing and disappearing at the periphery of one's vision, creating an atmosphere of tension and unresolved conflict. These ghost stories, whether born from historical events or the imaginations of those who tell them, contribute to the mystique of the Roman Forum. They provide a haunting reminder that the echoes of Rome's past are not just confined to history books but continue to linger in the very stones of this ancient site. As we move forward in our exploration of ancient Rome's secrets, stay with us as we uncover more tales that reveal the darker, hidden layers of its storied past. The sixth secret involves the enigma of Emperor Nero's death. Emperor Nero, known for his tyrannical rule and extravagant lifestyle, met a mysterious and controversial end that has puzzled historians for centuries. Nero's reign was marked by unpopular policies, scandalous behaviors, and brutal purges, which earned him many enemies among Rome's elite and the general populace. By the year 68 AD, widespread revolts and a rebellion led by the governor of Gaul, Gaius Julius Vindex, forced Nero into a dire situation. Facing imminent capture and execution, the once powerful emperor fled Rome with a handful of loyal freedmen. The traditional account, primarily from the ancient historian Suetonius, suggests that Nero, realizing his fate was sealed, chose to take his own life. He reportedly had trouble mustering the courage to do so and required assistance from his secretary, Epaphroditus, finally ending his life with a dagger. However, some contemporary sources and later historians have cast doubt on this narrative. There are theories that Nero's death was not a suicide but rather an assassination orchestrated by those closest to him. According to some accounts, his former allies, seeking to curry favor with the new regime, may have murdered him and spun the tale of his suicide to avoid further unrest. Another layer of mystery is added by rumors that Nero did not die at all, but instead faked his death to escape his enemies. This theory is supported by sporadic reports of sightings of Nero in various regions of the Roman Empire long after his supposed demise. These accounts describe a man resembling the deposed emperor, leading to a popular belief in the Nero redivivus legend, the idea that Nero would one day return to reclaim his throne. The enigmatic circumstances surrounding Nero's death also sparked numerous works of fiction and drama, as writers and playwrights throughout history found endless inspiration in the downfall of such a notorious figure. Whether by suicide, assassination, or staged disappearance, the true story of Nero's death remains one of Rome's most enduring mysteries, reflecting the chaos and intrigue that defined his lifetime. As we delve further into the secrets of ancient Rome, stay with us to uncover more facets of this captivating and often sinister epoch. The seventh secret involves the dark history of Rome's ancient sewer system, known as the Cloaca Maxima. The Cloaca Maxima, Latin for Great Drain, is one of the oldest and most impressive engineering feats of ancient Rome, originally constructed in the 6th century B.C. to drain the marshlands between the hills. It evolved into a complex underground sewer system that served as the backbone of Roman sanitation. Its tunnels, some large enough for a person to walk through, carried waste out of the city and into the Tiber River. But beneath its functional facade, the Cloaca Maxima harbors a sinister reputation. Tales of gruesome events and dark deeds have turned this marvel of engineering into a symbol of Rome's hidden horrors. One of the most chilling aspects is its use as a dumping ground for the bodies of those who crossed powerful figures. Political enemies, traitors, and even innocent victims of intrigue were said to be disposed of through the sewers, their bodies carried away by the relentless flow of waste. The labyrinthine tunnels provided the perfect cover for such grim activities, ensuring that the remains would be swiftly swept out of sight. Moreover, the Cloaca Maxima was rumored to be a place of dark rituals and sacrifices. In times of crisis, such as plagues or military defeats, some Romans believed that appeasing the gods through human sacrifice within these shadowy depths could turn the tides of fate. These macabre ceremonies, carried out in secret, added to the sewer's fearsome legacy. The damp, echoing chambers of the Cloaca Maxima also became a refuge for Rome's outcast. Fugitive slaves, criminals on the run, and those shunned by society found sanctuary in its dark corridors, living in squalor but eluding capture. This subterranean world formed a stark contrast to the bustling life above, embodying the hidden decay beneath Rome's grandeur. As we unveil the secrets of the Cloaca Maxima, it's clear that this ancient sewer system was more than just an engineering accomplishment. It was a shadowy underworld where power, fear, and death intertwined. Stay with us as we continue to uncover even more of ancient Rome's dark and hidden past. The eighth secret involves the treacherous poisonings that plagued the Roman elite. In the hallowed halls of ancient Rome, where power and ambition intermingled, poison was an insidious tool wielded by those seeking to eliminate rivals and ascend the social ladder. The use of poison became so rampant among the Roman elite that it transformed the very nature of their interactions, fostering an atmosphere of distrust and paranoia. One of the most notorious figures in this deadly game was Locusta, a skilled poisoner who offered her services to the highest bidder. Empress Agrippina the Younger, mother of Nero, famously enlisted Locusta to ensure her son's ascension to the throne. Agrippina's husband, Emperor Claudius, was the target. According to historical accounts, Locusta concocted a lethal potion that was subtly administered to Claudius in a dish of mushrooms, leading to his untimely death and paving the way for Nero's rise to power. Locusta's reputation for crafting undetectable poisons made her a valuable yet feared figure, with the ability to influence the course of Roman politics through her deadly brews. Poisonings were not limited to the imperial family. They permeated every level of the aristocracy. Senators, generals, and wealthy citizens often found themselves targets of clandestine attacks, their fates sealed by a sip of wine or a bite of food. The motives ranged from personal grudges and political maneuvering to securing inheritances and averting threats. The treachery extended beyond individual ambition, with entire factions and conspiracies dedicated to the art of poisoning. Assassins and spies used poisons to carry out their missions discreetly, leaving no trace of their involvement. Some even employed slow-acting poisons that mimicked natural illnesses, further concealing their malevolent intentions. The prevalence of poisonings led to various countermeasures among the elite. Tasting slaves tasked with sampling food and drink before their masters became a common practice, though it offered no guarantee of safety. Elaborate rituals and precautions were adopted in an attempt to detect and neutralize poisons, but the cunning and resourcefulness of poisoners often outstripped these efforts. The culture of deceit and betrayal that surrounded poisonings is a stark reminder of the perilous nature of life at the top in ancient Rome. It reveals a society where trust was a rare commodity, and survival often depended on one's ability to navigate an ever-present web of treachery. Poisonings, with their silent and invisible nature, epitomized the darker side of Roman ambition and the lengths to which individuals would go to secure power. As we continue our exploration of Rome's hidden past, stay with us to uncover even more secrets that lie behind the empire's grand facade. The ninth secret involves the forbidden cults that operated in the shadows of ancient Rome. While Rome's official pantheon of gods and goddesses was publicly celebrated with grandeur and state-sponsored rituals, there existed a plethora of underground religious movements that defied these traditional practices. These forbidden cults, often shrouded in mystery and secrecy, offered their followers an alternative spiritual path, one that frequently clashed with Roman authority and societal norms. One such cult was the worship of Bacchus, the god of wine and ecstasy. The Bacchanalian rites were infamous for their wild, frenzied celebrations which included intoxicating substances, ecstatic dances, and, according to Roman reports, illicit activities. Initially adopted from Greece, the Bacchic cult spread rapidly among Romans, especially women and the lower classes, which alarmed the conservative elite. In 186 B.C., the Roman Senate issued a decree to suppress the Bacchanalia, fearing that these gatherings were breeding grounds for conspiracy and rebellion. Despite the crackdown, the cult continued to exist in secret, its allure undiminished by official persecution. Another enigmatic group was the cult of Isis, which originated in Egypt and found a significant following in Rome. Isis, the goddess of fertility and motherhood, was revered through elaborate rites that promised personal salvation and a direct connection with the divine. The Roman authorities viewed the cult of Isis with suspicion due to its foreign origins and the secrecy surrounding its rituals. At various points, the government attempted to curtail its practices, yet the cult persisted, attracting devotees from all walks of life, including the wealthy and influential. The Mithraic Mysteries, dedicated to the god Mithras, was another underground movement that thrived in secrecy. Followers of Mithras, mainly soldiers and bureaucrats, participated in complex initiation ceremonies held in hidden underground temples known as Mithraea. These rituals symbolized the death and rebirth of Mithras, promising spiritual rebirth and eternal life to the initiates. The exclusivity and secrecy of the Mithraic mysteries fostered a strong sense of brotherhood among its members, which stood in contrast to the public and inclusive nature of Roman state religion. The early Christians also faced severe persecution for their refusal to worship the Roman deities and the emperor. Their clandestine gatherings in catacombs and private homes fueled suspicion and fear among the Roman authorities, who saw them as a threat to social and political stability. Despite brutal crackdowns, including arrests, executions, and public spectacle of martyrdom, Christianity grew steadily, eventually transforming into the dominant religion of the Roman Empire. These forbidden cults reveal a fascinating and complex aspect of Roman society, where spirituality often went beyond the confines of state-sanctioned religion. In their pursuit of personal, mystical, or communal experiences, the followers of these underground movements risked everything to maintain their beliefs. As we continue to unravel the dark secrets of ancient Rome, stay with us to explore even more hidden facets of this intriguing civilization. The 10th secret involves the hidden tomb of Romulus. Romulus, the legendary founder of Rome, is a figure shrouded in myth and mystery. According to Roman tradition, Romulus and his twin brother Remus were the sons of Mars, the god of war, and were raised by a she-wolf. After a conflict in which Romulus killed Remus, Romulus went on to establish the city of Rome in 753 B.C. However, the details surrounding Romulus's death and final resting place are steeped in mystery, giving rise to numerous legends and speculations. One of the most enduring legends is that Romulus did not die a natural death but was instead taken up to the heavens by Mars. This account, known as the apotheosis of Romulus, suggests that he became a god and ascended to the sky during a violent storm. Some ancient sources claim that the senators who accompanied him to a public meeting saw him vanish into thin air, leaving behind only his cloak. This divine disappearance was a convenient way to explain his sudden and mysterious absence, enhancing his mythic status. However, other accounts propose a darker ending. According to some historians and ancient writers, Romulus may have been assassinated by the very senators who claimed to witness his apotheosis. These accounts suggest that political rivalry and dissatisfaction with his rule could have led to his murder, with his body being secretly disposed of to prevent public unrest. This theory is supported by the fact that no definitive tomb or grave has ever been found, and the lack of concrete evidence only fuels the speculation. In the 1980s, Italian archaeologists uncovered an ancient underground structure near the Roman Forum, which some believe could be connected to Romulus. This site, known as the Comitium, contains a rectangular stone shrine that dates back to the 6th century B.C. The discovery of this structure has reignited debates among scholars about the possible location of Romulus's tomb. Some argue that this shrine could mark the spot where Romulus was buried, while others believe it may have been a ceremonial site dedicated to his memory. Adding to the enigma, there is also a legend that Romulus's remains were interred on the Palatine Hill, one of the 7 hills of Rome. This hill is traditionally considered the birthplace of the city and the location of Romulus's initial settlement. However, despite extensive excavations, no remains or definitive evidence of Romulus's tomb have been unearthed there. The mystery of Romulus's final resting place continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts. Whether he was deified, murdered, or buried in a hidden tomb, the search for Romulus adds a layer of intrigue to the already fascinating history of ancient Rome. As we delve deeper into the secrets of this ancient civilization, the legend of Romulus serves as a reminder of how history and myth often intertwine, leaving us to ponder the truth behind the stories that have been passed down through the centuries. Stay with us as we uncover more enigmatic secrets and continue our journey through the shadowy past of ancient Rome. The 11th secret involves the infamous Bacchanalia scandal. The Bacchanalia started as a respectable festival in honor of Bacchus, the Roman god of wine, fertility, and revelry. Initially, these rites were conducted with modesty and discipline, featuring rituals, music, and processions. However, over time, the Bacchanalia transformed into wild and uncontrolled gatherings, infamous for their excesses and moral corruption. By the 2nd century BC, the festival had descended into bouts of hedonism and criminal debauchery that alarmed the Roman state. Reports of rampant drunkenness, orgies, and illicit activities became widespread. These secret nocturnal gatherings drew a large and devoted following, including men and women from all social classes. The allure of unrestrained pleasure and the promise of divine ecstasy attracted many, but it also bred chaos and vice. The Bacchanalia became a haven for criminal activities, including theft, forgery, and murder, often committed under the cover of darkness. The secrecy of the rituals provided perfect conditions for conspiracies and plots against the state. Politicians and aristocrats, fearful of the festival's spread and potential threat to public order, began to suspect that these gatherings were hotbeds of sedition and treason. The tipping point came in 186 BC, when the Roman Senate received reports of serious misconduct linked to the Bacchanalia, including allegations of human sacrifices and the manipulation of followers for illicit gains. Alarmed by these revelations, the Senate took drastic action. They issued the Senatus Consultum de Bacchanalibus, a decree that effectively banned the Bacchanalia throughout Rome and its territories. This decree was delivered with military precision, involving raids on Bacchic worship sites, mass arrests, and public executions of those deemed guilty of participating in the debauched festivities. This crackdown was one of the most severe repressions of a religious cult in Roman history. While the official suppression aimed to restore public morality and order, it also revealed deep-seated fears about the disruptive potential of uncontrolled religious fervor. Despite the ban, the allure of the Bacchanalia did not disappear entirely. Underground versions of the festival continued to persist, kept alive by those who clung to its promise of earthly pleasure and divine connection. The Bacchanalia scandal exposed the tension between religious freedom and state control, highlighting how deeply the Romans valued social order and morality, yet feared the chaos that unchecked revelry could unleash. As we uncover more of ancient Rome's dark secrets, stay with us to explore further into the tangled web of power, piety, and decadence that shaped this legendary empire. The 12th secret involves the dark arts of Roman medicine. Medicine in ancient Rome was a fascinating blend of scientific inquiry and mystical practices, often veering into the bizarre and macabre. Roman physicians, influenced by the Greek medical traditions, attempted to understand the workings of the human body and treat various ailments. However, in the absence of modern scientific knowledge, many of their practices were based on superstition, trial and error, and sometimes outright cruelty. One of the most unsettling aspects of Roman medicine was the practice of using gladiator blood as a cure. It was believed that the blood of these fierce warriors, who are often seen as embodiments of strength and bravery, could transfer their vitality to the sick. People suffering from epilepsy, in particular, were encouraged to drink fresh gladiator blood, obtained directly from the dying or dead combatants in the arena. This macabre remedy highlights the desperate and superstitious nature of ancient medical practices. Another dark practice involved the use of human body parts and organs in medical treatments. Roman physicians sometimes resorted to using body parts of executed criminals in their concoctions. For instance, the liver of a felon was thought to have powerful medicinal properties, and certain parts of the body were used in potions aimed at treating everything from headaches to more severe maladies. These practices reveal a grim aspect of Roman medicine, where the line between healing and superstition was often blurred. Trepanation, the practice of drilling holes into the skull, was another common medical procedure in ancient Rome. This technique was believed to relieve various conditions such as migraines, epilepsy, and mental disorders by releasing evil spirits trapped inside the head. While trepanation occasionally provided relief, the lack of anesthetics and sterile conditions made it an excruciating and highly risky procedure. The use of herbs and plants in Roman medicine was both innovative and perilous. While many natural remedies were effective, some dangerous substances were used without fully understanding their toxic properties. For example, deadly nightshade and hemlock were often employed as pain relievers or sedatives, sometimes resulting in fatal poisonings. Additionally, the Romans believed in the curative powers of certain animal products. Snake venom, for instance, was used in small doses to treat various ailments despite the obvious risks. Another peculiar belief was that the ashes of a burnt viper mixed with wine could cure snake bites, embodying the principle of like cures like. Superstition also played a significant role in Roman medicine. Amulets and charms were commonly used to ward off illness and evil spirits. The Romans believed that wearing certain stones, metals, or carved images could protect one's health and provide supernatural healing. These talismans were often accompanied by incantations and rituals, blending medicine with magic in a desperate bid to maintain one's health. The dark arts of Roman medicine reflect a time when the understanding of health and healing was steeped in mysticism, fear, and experimentation. These macabre practices were a testament to the Romans' determination to combat illness and prolong life, even if it meant venturing into the realm of the grotesque and the supernatural. As we continue to uncover the hidden truths of ancient Rome, stay with us to explore more of the enigmatic and often sinister aspects of this fascinating civilization. The 13th secret involves the rise and fall of Agrippina the Younger. Agrippina the Younger, one of the most formidable women in Roman history, wielded immense influence and power during her lifetime, yet her story is one of dramatic ambition and deadly consequences. Born into the Julio-Claudian dynasty, Agrippina was the daughter of Germanicus, a revered general, and the sister of Emperor Caligula. Her early life was marked by political maneuvering and familial connections, which she adeptly used to her advantage. After a series of strategic marriages, Agrippina's most significant union was with her uncle, Emperor Claudius. This marriage was not just for familial cohesion, it was a calculated move by Agrippina to secure power. As empress, she was not content with a passive role. Agrippina actively involved herself in state affairs, earning a reputation as a shrewd and manipulative political figure. She wielded considerable influence over Claudius, guiding his decisions to align with her ambitions. One of her most notable achievements was securing the succession for her son, Nero, over Claudius's own biological son, Britannicus. Agrippina's ambition knew no bounds, and she meticulously paved the way for Nero's ascension, employing a combination of political acumen and ruthless tactics. However, her rise to power was marred by allegations of murder and intrigue. It is widely believed that Agrippina played a direct role in the death of Claudius, possibly poisoning him with a dish of mushrooms to hasten Nero's rise to the throne. Once Nero became emperor, Agrippina initially held significant influence over him, positioning herself as the power behind the throne. Her statues appeared alongside his, and she was granted unprecedented honors for a woman in Roman society. However, this dynamic soon shifted as Nero grew older and more independent, and the relationship between mother and son soured. As Nero sought to assert his autonomy, Agrippina's grip on power weakened. Her attempts to control him only fueled his desire to break free from her influence. The tension between them culminated in a series of confrontations and power struggles, with Nero increasingly viewing Agrippina as a threat to his rule. In response, he orchestrated a plot to eliminate her. The first attempt on her life involved a sabotaged boat designed to sink and drown her, but Agrippina managed to swim to safety. Undeterred, Nero issued orders for a group of assassins to kill her in her villa. According to historical accounts, her final moments were marked by defiance, as she reportedly instructed her attackers to strike her womb, the source of Nero's life and downfall. Agrippina's death marked the end of a dramatic and deadly tale of ambition, power, and betrayal. Her life is a testament to the perilous nature of political maneuvering in ancient Rome and the ultimate cost of unchecked ambition. The rise and fall of Agrippina the Younger reveal a dark and turbulent chapter in Roman history, where familial bonds were often sacrificed on the altar of power. As we continue our journey through the secrets of ancient Rome, stay with us to uncover more captivating stories that lie beneath the surface of this legendary empire. The 14th secret involves the dark secrets of Roman slavery. The Roman Empire's grandeur and affluence were built on the backs of countless slaves, whose suffering and toil remain one of the most harrowing aspects of its history. Slavery in Rome was a widespread and integral part of society, permeating every level of economic and domestic life. Slaves were primarily acquired through warfare, as prisoners of conquered territories were brought back to Rome and sold into bondage. Markets flourished with human chattel, where men, women, and children were traded like commodities, stripped of their identities and subjected to the whims of their owners. The life of a Roman slave was often brutal and dehumanizing. Agricultural slaves, known as familia rustica, labored under harsh conditions on vast estates called latifundia. They endured long hours of backbreaking work, minimal sustenance, and brutal punishments for any perceived infractions. Urban slaves, or familia urbana, served in households, businesses, and public works. While some were fortunate enough to hold positions as tutors, secretaries, or skilled artisans, many faced relentless exploitation and abuse. Domestic slaves were at the constant mercy of their masters, subjected to physical and sexual abuse. Female slaves, in particular, were vulnerable to the predatory advances of their owners and could be forced into prostitution. The worst fate often awaited those condemned to work in the mines. Mining slaves faced excruciating and dangerous conditions, extracting valuable resources like gold and silver. They worked in dark, suffocating tunnels with poor ventilation, often succumbing to accidents, exhaustion, or respiratory diseases. The mortality rate in the mines was staggeringly high, with little regard for the lives lost in the pursuit of wealth. Despite these horrors, there were occasional opportunities for manumission or the granting of freedom. Some slaves could earn their freedom through loyal service, purchasing it through savings or being freed by their master's wills. However, manumission did not guarantee a better life, as freed slaves or freedmen still faced social stigmatization and limited rights. The pervasive nature of slavery also led to frequent revolts and rebellions. The most famous was the uprising led by Spartacus, a gladiator who, along with his followers, challenged the might of Rome. Though ultimately crushed, the rebellion highlighted the desperation and courage of those who sought to break their chains. Roman slavery was a dark foundation upon which the empire's achievements rested, revealing the stark contrast between its celebrated advancements and the human suffering that fueled its progress. As we delve further into the secrets of ancient Rome, stay with us to uncover more hidden truths from this complex and storied civilization. The 15th secret involves the political assassinations that shaped Roman political life. The Roman Empire was rife with conspiracy and murder, where political assassination served as a perilous tool for those seeking to gain or maintain power. These backstabbings were not only a testament to the ruthlessness of Roman politics, but also pivotal events that altered the course of history. One of the most infamous assassinations was that of Julius Caesar. On the Ides of March in 44 B.C., Caesar was brutally murdered by a group of senators led by Brutus and Cassius. The conspirators, fearing Caesar's growing power and potential establishment of a monarchy, orchestrated the assassination to restore the Republic. However, their actions plunged Rome into a series of civil wars, ultimately leading to the rise of the Roman Empire under Augustus. Another notorious assassination was that of Caligula, known for his erratic and tyrannical rule. In 41 AD, after a reign of terror marked by executions and outrageous behavior, Caligula was murdered by members of his own Praetorian Guard, led by Cassius Chaerea. They saw his removal as necessary to restore stability, and his uncle Claudius was declared emperor in his stead. Claudius himself fell victim to assassination, allegedly poisoned by his wife Agrippina the Younger. Agrippina's ambition to see her son Nero ascend to the throne led her to eliminate Claudius, orchestrating his death through a dish of poisoned mushrooms. This act of treachery paved the way for Nero's reign, marked by further political turmoil and intrigue. Emperor Domitian's assassination in 96 AD was another significant event. His autocratic rule and the increasing paranoia led to his downfall. Domitian was stabbed in a palace conspiracy involving his wife Domitia, several courtiers, and members of the Praetorian Guard. His death marked the end of the Flavian dynasty and ushered in the period known as the Five Good Emperors. The cycle of political assassinations continued with Caracalla, the co-emperor alongside his brother Geta. In 217 AD, Caracalla was assassinated by a soldier named Martialis, allegedly under the orders of the Praetorian prefect Macrinus. Caracalla's death resulted in Macrinus seizing the throne, although his reign was short-lived, ending in his own assassination. These assassinations were not isolated incidents but rather symptomatic of a political culture where betrayal and murder were tools of governance. The shadow of the dagger loomed over every politician, senator, and emperor, creating an atmosphere of constant suspicion and insecurity. The path to power in Rome was fraught with danger, where alliances were fragile and loyalty was often fleeting. The political assassinations that shaped Roman history highlight the dark and deadly side of its quest for power. These acts of treachery and violence reflect a world where ambition often trampled over morality, and the stakes of political survival were literally a matter of life and death. As we conclude our exploration of the dark secrets of ancient Rome, we are reminded of the complex and often brutal reality behind the empire's storied past. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the shadowy depths of Rome's hidden truths. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another captivating exploration. The sixth secret involves the enigma of Emperor Nero's death. Emperor Nero, known for his tyrannical rule and extravagant lifestyle, met a mysterious and controversial end that has puzzled historians for centuries. Nero's reign was marked by unpopular policies, scandalous behaviors, and brutal purges, which earned him many enemies among Rome's elite and the general populace. By the year 68 AD, widespread revolts and a rebellion led by the governor of Gaul, Gaius Julius Vindex, forced Nero into a dire situation. Facing imminent capture and execution, the once powerful emperor fled Rome with a handful of loyal freedmen. The traditional account, primarily from the ancient historian Suetonius, suggests that Nero, realizing his fate was sealed, chose to take his own life. He reportedly had trouble mustering the courage to do so and required assistance from his secretary, Epaphroditus, finally ending his life with a dagger. However, some contemporary sources and later historians have cast doubt on this narrative. There are theories that Nero's death was not a suicide but rather an assassination orchestrated by those closest to him. According to some accounts, his former allies, seeking to curry favor with the new regime, may have murdered him and spun the tale of his suicide to avoid further unrest. Another layer of mystery is added by rumors that Nero did not die at all, but instead faked his death to escape his enemies. This theory is supported by sporadic reports of sightings of Nero in various regions of the Roman Empire long after his supposed demise. These accounts describe a man resembling the deposed emperor, leading to a popular belief in the Nero Redivivus legend. the idea that Nero would one day return to reclaim his throne. The enigmatic circumstances surrounding Nero's death also sparked numerous works of fiction and drama, as writers and playwrights throughout history found endless inspiration in the downfall of such a notorious figure. Whether by suicide, assassination, or staged disappearance, the true story of Nero's death remains one of Rome's most enduring mysteries, reflecting the chaos and intrigue that defined his lifetime. As we delve further into the secrets of ancient Rome, stay with us to uncover more facets of this captivating and often sinister epoch. The seventh secret involves the dark history of Rome's ancient sewer system, known as the Cloaca Maxima. The Cloaca Maxima, Latin for Great Drain, is one of the oldest and most impressive engineering feats of ancient Rome, originally constructed in the 6th century BC. To drain the marshlands between the hills, it evolved into a complex underground sewer system that served as the backbone of Roman sanitation. Its tunnels, some large enough for a person to walk through, carried waste out of the city and into the Tiber River. But beneath its functional facade, the Cloaca Maxima harbors a sinister reputation. Tales of gruesome events and dark deeds have turned this marvel of engineering into a symbol of Rome's hidden horrors. One of the most chilling aspects is its use as a dumping ground for the bodies of those who crossed powerful figures. Political enemies, traitors, and even innocent victims of intrigue were said to be disposed of through the sewers, their bodies carried away by the relentless flow of waste. The labyrinthine tunnels provided the perfect cover for such grim activities, ensuring that the remains would be swiftly swept out of sight. Moreover, the Cloaca Maxima was rumored to be a place of dark rituals and sacrifices. In times of crisis, such as plagues or military defeats, some Romans believed that appeasing the gods through human sacrifice within these shadowy depths could turn the tides of fate. These macabre ceremonies, carried out in secret, added to the sewer's fearsome legacy. The damp, echoing chambers of the Cloaca Maxima also became a refuge for Rome's outcasts. Fugitive slaves, criminals on the run, and those shunned by society found sanctuary in its dark corridors, living in squalor but eluding capture. This subterranean world formed a stark contrast to the bustling life above, embodying the hidden decay beneath Rome's grandeur. As we unveil the secrets of the Cloaca Maxima, it's clear that this ancient sewer system was more than just an engineering accomplishment. It was a shadowy underworld where power, fear, and death intertwined. Stay with us as we continue to uncover even more of ancient Rome's dark and hidden past. Which of these dark secrets did you find most fascinating? Was it the mysterious disappearance of the 9th Legion, or perhaps the sinister side of Gladiatorial Games? Or maybe you were intrigued by the enigma of Emperor Nero's death or the forbidden cults operating in the shadows. We want to hear from you, so drop a comment below and let us know which secret captivated you the most. And if you've heard any other dark tales about ancient Rome that we didn't cover, we'd love to hear those too. Your insights and stories add so much depth to our exploration. So let's get that conversation started. And remember, if you're enjoying our journey into the hidden depths of history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our next adventure. Join us as we continue to uncover the secrets of the past, one mystery at a time. The fact-checking section involves addressing common misconceptions or myths about ancient Rome. One prevalent myth is the idea that all Romans constantly indulged in extravagant feasts, consuming vast quantities of exotic foods and wine. While wealthy Romans did enjoy lavish banquets, the average citizen's diet was far more modest, consisting primarily of bread, olives, and simple porridge. Another misconception is that Roman gladiators fought to the death in every match. In reality, gladiators were valuable assets, and their owners invested heavily in their training and upkeep. As a result, many matches did not end in death, and the decision to spare or kill a defeated gladiator often rested with the sponsor of the games rather than the crowd's whims. Additionally, the image of the Roman Empire as a place of constant decadence and moral decay is often overstated. While there were periods of excess and corruption, many Romans lived simple, hardworking lives, adhering to values of discipline and duty. Finally, the notion that the Roman Empire fell solely due to barbarian invasions is an oversimplification. The empire's decline was the result of a complex interplay of factors including economic troubles, internal strife, and administrative challenges. By dispelling these myths, we gain a more nuanced understanding of ancient Rome, appreciating both its grandeur and the everyday experiences of its people. Stay with us as we continue to uncover more fascinating truths and dispel further misconceptions from history. Visual and sound design suggestions for the mysterious disappearance of the Ninth Legion. Imagine an eerie, mist-covered battlefield with ghostly whispers, the distant sound of clashing swords, and the muted cries of soldiers fading into silence. Overlay this with flickering images of ancient maps and scattered Roman artifacts washed in blood-red hues, creating an atmosphere of lost glory and haunting ambiguity. For the curse of the Vestal Virgins, picture an ominous underground chamber with flickering torchlight casting long shadows on the cold stone walls. The soundscape should include faint, echoing chants and the soft rustle of ceremonial robes, gradually rising to a tense crescendo as the scene shifts to a solemn procession leading a Vestal to her grim fate. For the unknown cause of Caesar's epilepsy, use dreamlike visuals with distorted, wavering edges to represent his episodes. Combine this with an unsettling mix of heartbeat like drum beats and sporadic, jarring sounds to reflect his inner turmoil and the mysterious nature of his condition. For the sinister side of Gladiatorial Games, showcase the brutal reality with close-up shots of grim, determined faces, the clanging of metal, and the roar of an expectant crowd. Contrast these vivid, visceral scenes with moments of stark silence, emphasizing the life or death stakes. For the ghost stories of the Roman Forum, create a spectral visual palette with pale, translucent figures gliding through the ruins under the moonlight. The sound should be ethereal and haunting, with distant, otherworldly whispers and the soft rustle of ancient garments brushing against stone. For the enigma of Emperor Nero's death, employ dark, shadowy visuals with flickering candlelight and the hollow sound of footsteps echoing through empty corridors. Enhance the mystery with hushed, conspiratorial murmurs and the sudden clang of a dropped dagger, building the suspense around his final moments. For the dark history of the Cloaca Maxima, visualize damp, cobweb-laden tunnels with water trickling through cracks and the distant wail of forgotten souls. The soundscape should feature a low, ominous rumble mixed with the occasional drip of water and the faint echoes of ancient rituals. For the treacherous poisonings that plagued the Roman elite, depict opulent banquet scenes with a dark undertone, using close-ups of wine being poured and food being served with an underlying sense of foreboding. The sound should include the clinking of glass, the murmur of scheming voices, and a sharp, sudden gasp as the poison takes effect. For the forbidden cults, create shadowy, candle-lit rituals with figures in hooded robes performing secretive ceremonies. The soundscape should be filled with low, rhythmic chants, the soft shuffle of feet, and the occasional, chilling cry of an ecstatic follower. For the hidden tomb of Romulus, use misty visuals of ancient ruins and darkened passageways, combined with the sound of a distant storm and the faint, ghostly whisper of legendary tales. For the Bacchanalia scandal, show wild, frenzied celebrations with vibrant, chaotic visuals and a cacophony of drums, laughter, and frenzied shouts, abruptly cutting to scenes of the Senate's crackdown with harsh, authoritative voices and the clash of weapons. For the dark arts of Roman medicine, depict both clinical and brutal practices with close-ups of ancient medical instruments and grim, determined faces. The soundscape should include the clinking of tools, murmured incantations, and the occasional painful cry of a patient. For the rise and fall of Agrippina the Younger, Visualize her strategic moves with dramatic lighting and sharp contrasts, combined with the sound of whispered plots, the rustle of imperial robes, and the final, chilling silence as her life ends. For the dark secrets of Roman slavery, use stark, harrowing images of chained figures and hard, unforgiving labor. The sound should include the crack of whips, the groan of heavy burdens, and the quiet, despairing murmur of enslaved voices. For the political assassinations, depict the tense atmosphere of political intrigue with close-ups of anxious, watchful faces and the sound of conspiratorial whispers, sudden gasps, and the final, fatal thrust of a dagger. The connection to modern times reveals that many secrets of ancient Rome have uncanny similarities to events and mysteries in our contemporary world. The mysterious disappearance of the Ninth Legion finds echoes in modern military disasters where entire units vanish or suffer unexplained fates, such as the catastrophic ill-fated missions during conflicts like the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876, where General Custer's forces were devastatingly overwhelmed by Native American tribes. The curse of the Vestal Virgins, with its severe punishments for broken vows, mirrors the stringent penalties seen in some modern religious communities where deviating from strict codes can lead to excommunication or worse. Similar echoes can be found in the treatment of whistleblowers and defectors in various governments, who face severe consequences for breaking the codes of secrecy and loyalty. The unknown cause of Caesar's epilepsy brings to mind modern-day leaders whose health issues are shrouded in secrecy and speculation, like the enigmatic illnesses of John F. Kennedy, whose Addison's disease was kept from the public, inviting rumors and conspiracy theories. The sinister side of Gladiatorial Games parallels contemporary fascination with violent sports and spectacles, such as extreme fighting championships or dangerous reality TV shows where participants sometimes face life-threatening risks for fame or monetary reward. The ghost stories of the Roman Forum have their counterparts in haunted historical landmarks around the world, like the Tower of London or the Catacombs of Paris, where tales of restless spirits and eerie occurrences continue to capture public imagination. The enigma of Emperor Nero's death is reminiscent of modern political figures whose deaths are surrounded by conspiracy theories and unresolved questions, like the mysterious circumstances of Marilyn Monroe's demise or the assassination of President Kennedy. The dark history of the Cloaca Maxima and its use as a dumping ground draws uncomfortable parallels to modern urban legends of bodies being disposed of in city infrastructures, such as the infamous stories of gangland executions and body dumps in the concrete structures of major cities. The treacherous poisonings that plagued the Roman elite have modern parallels in instances of political assassinations and covert murders using poison, like the infamous poisoning of Alexander Litvinenko with polonium-210 in 2006. The forbidden cults operating in ancient Rome find their modern equivalents in secret societies and underground movements that defy mainstream beliefs and practices, often existing in the shadows and evoking both fascination and fear. The hidden tomb of Romulus and the relentless search for it resonate with modern archaeological quests and the discovery of lost historical treasures, like the search for Cleopatra's tomb or the ongoing efforts to locate the wreckage of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. The Bacchanalia scandal's wild, unchecked revelry aligns with contemporary fears of uncontrolled gatherings leading to chaos, seen in instances like the infamous Fire Festival scandal or the tragic outcomes of overcrowded concerts and festivals. The dark arts of Roman medicine have their eerie counterparts in modern-day pseudoscience and fringe medical practices that exploit desperation and lack of knowledge, akin to the rise of controversial treatments and unregulated health innovations that promise miracles but often deliver danger. The rise and fall of Agrippina the Younger mirrors the volatile careers of modern political figures whose ambition and influence lead to dramatic and often deadly power struggles, reminiscent of figures like Eva Peron or the complex dynamics within powerful political dynasties. Lastly, the political assassinations that shaped Roman political life are hauntingly similar to the political violence and coups seen in modern times, where the pursuit of power continues to result in bloodshed, treachery, and the reshaping of nations. From the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand triggering World War I, to the more recent political upheavals in various countries, the dark dance of power and death remains a persistent theme in our history. These connections to modern times highlight how the shadows of ancient Rome's secrets still cast a long and intriguing legacy on the present, reminding us of the timeless nature of human ambition, mystery, and the quest for power. In summary, the dark secrets of ancient Rome reveal a civilization filled with both grandeur and cruelty, where power struggles, sinister rituals, and hidden mysteries shaped its history. From the vanishing Ninth Legion and the deadly curse of the Vestal Virgins to Nero's enigmatic death and the brutal realities of Gladiatorial Games, each secret we've uncovered paints a darker, more complex picture of Roman society. The ghostly apparitions in the Roman Forum and the treacherous poisonings among the elite add layers of eerie intrigue, while the rise and fall of Agrippina the Younger and the pervasive use of slavery highlight the human cost behind Rome's achievements. These tales of political assassinations and forbidden cults remind us that the quest for power often came at a steep price. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey through the hidden truths of ancient Rome. If you found these secrets as fascinating as we did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into history. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will unravel the enigmatic mysteries of the lost city of Atlantis. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present. Thanks for journeying with us through the dark secrets of ancient Rome. If you enjoyed this dive into history's mysteries, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Share this video with your friends and family who love uncovering historical mysteries just like you do. And don't forget to drop a comment below letting us know which Roman secret fascinated you the most. Your insights are invaluable to our explorations. Until next time, keep digging into the past, because every stone turned reveals another layer of our shared story. Stay curious, stay engaged, and as always, thanks for watching.